there was like these grandpas.
Bro, everyone was so happy and nice coming down. They're like, good morning.
Yeah,
Hi.
good morning. How are you?
Me, I'm like,
good. Good.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Cold Brews.
I'm your co-host, Allison.
And I'm Coleen.
And we're back on the pod after what?
3 weeks for us recording, yeah?
Okay, 3 weeks for us recording,
2 weeks since you last heard us.
Yes, exactly. We are back from our girls' trip. If you don't follow our personal page, we did go to Vancouver for a week.
And then Alberta.
And then Alberta
for the
second week. And so it is, what day is it today? It's Thursday.
It's Thursday the 30th. Happy National Truth and Reconciliation Day, everybody. We are back with episode 8.
Season 2, episode 8 of Two Cold Brews.
Woo!
the classic woo. So much has happened, you guys.
We did you the favor of recording every moment or like funny thing in notes. So we have a list here we'd like to talk about.
Yeah, so we started this in Vancouver. So the Vancouver Storytime will be for episode 9 with our sweetener. So for this episode, we're going to recap, just give you an overview
of what happened of our week in Alberta.
Happened in Alberta.
Okay. And we'll be more specific. So when we say Alberta, we don't mean Edmonton. we spent a week in the Banff and Canmore area.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Highly, highly recommend. I tell Call this all the time. Like, I would go to Banff once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just experience different seasons in Banff every year.
You will hear more about like our time in Vancouver, but I thoroughly enjoyed and was surprised by our Alberta trip.
Yeah, I loved Alberta. Yeah. I love Banff specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Canmore was beautiful too, but Vancouver is just really funny. Like,
it's just,
well, okay, but we'll save that. We'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah, that really was a girls' trip.
Yes.
If you think about the girls' trip movie, like,
yeah, that was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was so funny. All right, so what we did, what I did, every time something significant happened on our trip, I would just jot down the notes like on my phone, just so that we would remember this actually happened.
Yeah.
Sorry if you hear puffing in the background. Call has her freaking Juul and we're recording.
I'm sorry, I saw you with your vibe.
Okay, but like this was just like on the side, you know.
Now I'm into it. Okay. Let's continue.
Where should we start?
Before we even get to like landing in Calgary, lest we forget, going to the Vancouver airport, getting on our plane, Allison exhausted. And her fucking big ass carry-on. It was heavy, okay? Because first of all,
wait.
We did not pack the way we packed coming to Vancouver.
Yeah.
So at the gate, both of our luggages were over. We're like, fuck.
Yeah. No, mine was over
because of the gin.
Yeah, because of the gin. But mine was only over by 0.7 or 0.9
kilograms, which is like 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, Carlos was over by 7 pounds.
Okay, because I put my shoes in the wrong bag, and like when you're in like the self-service drop-off, they're like, drop off the heaviest bag first. I'm like, this is stupid. Why would that happen? So I dropped off my lightest bag, and then my heaviest bag wouldn't go through because lo and behold, it was too heavy. So we had to I put on my heaviest clothes. I put on my boots.
We were like in the corner. We looked so stupid. I was like, Call, what the heck? So then I had to toss the gin. I'm like, we literally can't take this with us. We're like, okay, you know what? R.I.P.
You stuffed more in your carry-on.
Yeah, I stuffed stuff in my carry-on, and then I put Call's shoes in my luggage. And like, Call, where are your other shit? So she was like changing her shoes, putting on her freaking jackets. I was like, listen, you're gonna have to sweat on this plane ride, man.
It was thankfully only like 50 minutes, so it wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. But this is good context and a segue into the plane. So we're on the plane. My carry-on is like a backpack and like a bag, so I don't really need to put anything in the overhead storage.
But by the way, like our plane, it was really nice.
It was, yeah, short mileage. Pretty sure they use that new Boeing because it's like an hour flight.
We flew Air Canada, but like our plane was like really nice. It was brand new, you can tell. Mm-hmm. And we checked, it was like what, 2020 or something?
It was manufactured in 2020.
Yeah, and like we got the emergency seats.
Guys, if you have long legs, you need the emergency seats because the leg space is insane.
Yeah, and we got that for free. We didn't even have to pay.
Love it. And so obviously you have to be capable of pulling the emergency should an emergency occur. Mm-hmm. However, for an hour flight, it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine.
But, you know, me, I'm 4'11", okay, can't lift shit. So Call always...
I hate you.
Call always puts my carry-on luggage like on the compartment above, right? She always does it for me. I just expect it because I'm like, there's no way I can do it. Yeah. You know?
As you have been telling people, I am 5'11". I found out after 20 years.
A freaking joke.
She has told people that I am 5'11" and I'm a size 11. And just like our friends, partners are like, how tall is Cole? She looks so tall. Like, oh.
So E's man also asked her, how tall is Cole? Like, she literally looks like what, 5'10"?
I was like, it's your fucking fault.
And that's just been the joke for like the past 2 weeks. It's like, I know. Cole is 5'11" and her foot size is a size 11.
So because I'm taller, I put her carry-on away for her and get it for her.
Yeah.
Basically every time we travel.
But how we set it up is, so whenever we book our seats, so Call sits in the window seat so that she's always in front of me and so that she can put my carry-on above while there's like people like lined up behind me. You know what I mean?
Yes. But this particular flight, we were the last ones to go because I think we needed to go to the bathroom or something. Yeah. So like literally we were entering the plane as almost everybody was seated. Mm-hmm. And so I tried to put Allison's luggage away.
Mind you, it's heavy.
It's heavy. So I put it in the compartment where like the emergency stuff was, but it was too big. So I had to take it out. And a flight attendant was telling me to put it in the other one. Yeah. So I fucking take it out.
No. You didn't take it out. You swung it out. Okay?
Because it was so heavy.
Yo, when I tell you, Call almost bashed this woman's face open, I was like, no. I literally saw her face. She was scared, but yet pissed at the same time.
It was the French in her.
And not even just that, like the other people that was sitting.
They were like, because like I was, you know, when you're so embarrassed, you are hot from head to toe. I like literally went up 10 degrees and I was like, this is not happening. Because the plane is so quiet. We are the last ones to board. So everybody was watching us. Yeah. Like bored because I had to take it out with some, you know, gusto because it was stuck in there. Yeah. And then when I was trying to put it into the other compartment, it like slid. Mm-hmm. And it almost hit the lady and she's like, whoa. And Allison's like, call. And I'm like, you don't think I know? You don't think I know?
No, she would have needed like her jaw like...
I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Every time she would give me like crackers or water, I would like apologize with my eyes through my mask.
No, you guys, you don't understand how close. Like it was so close, probably a centimeter.
Oh my God.
From her face. And it was good. It was rough. Like she would have broke her jaw or her nose, something. Like, that's how bad it was.
So anyways, I was very embarrassed. Quickly sat down. No one was in the aisle with me, so I was so thankful. Yeah. We were there for an hour. Got out.
We actually landed early.
Yeah.
30 minutes early.
I'm pretty sure they overestimate a lot of the time.
Yeah, because it said an hour and a half, but it was literally like 50 minutes.
Very fast.
From Vancouver to Calgary. So, anyways, fast forward. The first point that's on our list right here is Calgary was waiting for the car. Calgary was waiting for the car for 1 hour because the other girl had no GPS. Background story. So, we went to the car rental area, and this woman, there's like 2 people in front of me, and this woman comes back because her car doesn't have a GPS. Mm-hmm. So the lady at the car rental place was like, you have to upgrade your car, because like her car was like, I don't know what car it was.
I don't know what car. She rented like maybe an SUV because it looked like she had a family.
Yeah, so she's like, you have to upgrade your car to get the GPS. She's like, no, I need like a freaking car with a GPS. I'm not from here.
Which, like, valid if you're going in the mountains, you need a GPS. But on her for not thinking of that, I'm booking it.
Yeah. So anyways, there's 2 people working at the car rental place. Mm-hmm. So the other lady, she leaves and she goes with one of the customers to go look for another car. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know why she physically went. I'm like, isn't this all on the computer? Mm-hmm. You know? So anyway, she disappears, okay? And then the couple who is in front, who is dealing with the other lady, so their license was expired.
Everyone in front of us was a mess, and we're like, just let us go. We just need to pick up and leave.
Yeah, I was so tired, okay? So I was in line, Call is sitting down, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm texting Call, what's happening? I'm like, their license is expired. So then what they had to do was they had to do it online, renew their license online. I'm like, why?
Like, you should check this if you're renting a car.
Yes, I'm thinking, you know? So what they did was they renewed their license online. And you know how you get like a certificate, whatever, that's valid for like 3 months or something?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
I don't drive, so how am I supposed to know?
But for drivers out there, you know. So that's what they did, and I was just like, are you kidding me? I think it was the wife whose license was expired, and they wanted,
she was
like,
a second driver.
Yeah, they wanted 2 drivers. I'm like, okay, makes sense. So that couple left after like 30 minutes, okay? Now, the couple in front of me also took really long, and I don't know why. I have no clue why. That took another 30 minutes. So we've been waiting for our car rental for an hour now.
Yeah. It's a 1 shift thing, right? Like, you're the only person working for that day. Yeah. Like, you have no backup. And so I saw Allison like waiting in line because she was the only one behind these 2 people for the hour. And so like, I'm on my phone and I look at her and she's just like standing there. And I'm on my phone and I look at her and she's like up against the pole, like 90 degrees.
I was so tired. I was so pissed. Yeah. And I'm like, where is this other girl? There's only one person working. So like, now it's my turn. It's an hour. And I'm like, you know what?
You're like, I'm going to complain.
I don't want to give her attitude. I don't want to cuss her out, but I'm annoyed right now.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed, okay? And I'm like, it's not really her fault, you know? So I go up there. I'm ready to like complain, but not like, you know, like cuss at her, you know? But I'm just ready to be like, oh, that was really long or whatever, you know? So she's like, I'm so sorry for the wait. And I'm like, it's okay. What happened to your partner? And she's just like, she left. Know. She's like, I don't know where she went. And then she's just like, can I give you a luxury car for, she's like, no upgrade charges. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so that's the next point on our list, actually.
Yes. And let me tell you, so Allison has like a work discount with this car rental place. So for the week, it was what we rented was a freaking Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla vibes, right?
Yeah.
For $240 a week. And then we got upgraded to a luxury car for nothing extra. Insane.
We checked online how much it would have cost.
$1,100.
$1,100 for the week.
We basically saved almost $1,000.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. I'm like, sure. And then she's just like, you have your G license, right? Because you need your G to drive the luxury car. I was like, okay, cool. And then, yeah, it was so quick. Like, I was there for, like, 10 minutes?
Yeah, but then all of a sudden the line started forming. But this is our thing, though. We bring the line wherever we go.
Yeah, I swear it
Not
always
even,
happens.
yeah, the bagel place.
Everywhere. Doesn't matter. Gas station. Like, people just show up.
Yeah. Hiking, so many people were coming up after us. Anyways, we go to lot 4.
Anyways, lot 4. No. She told me. She's like, if there's no one behind you, I'm going to show you where your car is, right? Show you around the car, whatever. And then but then all of a sudden there's like 10 people behind me. So she's like, are you able to find it? It's just like, it's lot 4. So it's literally on your left side when you exit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, don't worry. We'll figure it out. Bro, this car, beautiful.
It's a Volvo. Like the
2021 Lux, like...
Take your birth control.
Stop it. Should we talk about the car? No, fuck it.
No, the car is... I have never had to use a screen to control the temperature of, like, the air conditioner in there.
Like, it was just nice.
It was nice.
So,
got the car. She was beautiful. We drive the hour and a half up to Canmore because that's where we're staying.
Yeah, so from the airport to Canmore, it's about an hour and a half. I don't know why I thought it was 30 minutes.
No, sorry. I'm laughing because of our luck with parking. You will hear about the Vancouver parking story. Oh my God. But the Airbnb we had basically had an assigned parking lot. So they're like, okay, do this, go to the parking spot 100. Mm-hmm. So we drive around, we go there. And bro, our luck is this big fucking truck. Red.
Like, big.
Okay,
like, you know how trucks are big, but this is big. Like, this truck has, like...
It's like the tow truck towing truck, you know?
It's like one of those.
We were so mad. We were trying to get in. She's like, there's no way I can get in.
So I was able to park, but then I'm like, Carl, there's no way he can get into, or she can get into their car. Like, there's just no way. And I'm like, I can get out through my side, but you can't even get out through your side.
It was tight.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And we're like, hey, let's go to the front desk, see if we can get a different spot. Mm-hmm. And so the front desk was just like, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, here, no problem. You can park anywhere where this sticker is at. And then she's just like, check to see if the truck has a sticker. If it doesn't have a sticker, then that's their parking spot. Like, that's their designated parking spot. Like, they actually own it. Mm-hmm. So we went and checked. We're like, this freaking guy owns it, blah, blah, blah. Like, we can't do anything. We're just going to find a different parking spot. And then Cole's like, no, me, you were just like, we're just going on a rant.
Yeah. And I think we both saw it at the same time. Yeah.
We're like, what's his license plate? And it was...
It was like a firefighter.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, it was like a certain, like, I don't know what saying it was, but it was like part of their fire department of Alberta. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like, eye level, so when we were sitting in the car, the license plate was in front of us, which should give you an idea of how big this truck was.
Yeah, so we're like, oh, okay, my bad.
We're like, never mind. All the anger dissipated. We're like,
I know, we're like, you saved lives.
We're like, la-di-da, let's go find this.
I know, we're like, we're so ungrateful. But it was just because, 1, we were hungry. 2, we were so exhausted. Mm-hmm. Okay? So it was just like, it's just like built up, like, frustration. But then once we saw the license plate, we're like, okay, humble ourselves.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for your service.
All that jazz. And so, yes.
Our Airbnb was beautiful, by the way. Mountain views.
We wake up with a mountain. Mm-hmm. We had our own bedrooms. Most importantly, we had our own bathrooms. Yes. Oh
my God. You know what? I'm going to save that story for Vancouver. Oh my God, Call. Our friendship has just gone like through a whole new level after that.
And it's been 20 years, so we haven't spent that much time together. So yeah, our B&B was so nice, our own bathrooms, our own bedrooms, a nice kitchen. The first day we got there in Canmore, it was so cute. Like, this town had everything. Yeah. And they had a Safeway, which I've never been to, but it's now my favorite place.
Yeah, it was literally like, we were like in the center of everything.
And Banff was 20 to 30 minutes away by driving.
20 minutes. like I would say 15 to 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
And getting into Banff, this is also another point in our notes. You need passes to go into Banff. Basically, to go into Banff or any national park, really, you need to have a pass. And the pass is basically like a passport to get into the town. And you can't get into it without it unless you pay $20 a day.
Yeah, it's like a toll booth, right?
Yeah.
And so the Banff Pass saves you a lot of money. Like,
and thankfully, our B&B had it.
Right. Here's the thing. The family or group pass annually for 5 to 7 people at a time cost $140, which if you're from Toronto, that is the same price as a Metro Pass. But for a whole year.
Yeah, for a whole year.
Yeah, if you're planning to stay there for a while or considering going to all of the national parks, like, it's so worth it for you.
Yeah, or like find like a B&B who offers it for free.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that's also like a huge plus. You literally can't do anything that you want to do in Banff without it.
Yeah, if you want the views,
yeah,
that's what you do. So
if you want the full experience,
yeah. So our B&B host is quite active because he was messaging me before checking in. He's like, hey, I'm going to be backcountry camping and hiking for the weekend. If you need me, I'm not here till Monday. Message this other person. We're like, okay. We check in. There's a nice welcome book, all that jazz. And we're like, what trail should we go on? It's like a Monday at this point. We're taking
Monday,
it easy.
And we decided to sleep in, right?
Yeah.
So we slept in and we're like, hey, let's just go on like a nice trail today.
So first of all,
nice as in easy.
Yeah.
Trail.
First of all, Allison was like, put this in the GPS, and it's called like Lynn Trail.
Was it Lynn?
It was in his notebook, and he's like, this is actually one of the easier trails.
In his notebook, he gave 3 trail recommendations, and this was the easiest. He's like, at the end, it gives you a beautiful view of like Canmore and everything.
We're like, okay. I have an app called All Trails. And if you like hiking, I'm assuming you're familiar with it. I look it up hard. 16 kilometers, highest elevation. We're like, okay, we can't trust this guy. Okay. So then I go to the top, filter, beginners, easy. We go to this one. It's called Grassy Lakes. And we're like, okay, this is easy. It's like 4 kilometers max.
And it leads you to like a beautiful like
waterfall.
Not waterfall, but it's almost like a lake, like on the top of a mountain. And there's like 2 parts to it, right?
Yeah, it was so beautiful. Especially when the sun hit.
So freaking beautiful.
And we thought it was going to be easy because you know what? They have an easy trail. They have a hard trail.
Yeah.
As we're getting out of the car, there's children coming back, children going, and we're like, we can do this. Yeah, there's
not just children, babies. Like 2-year-olds, okay? And then there's like really old people too, and then we're like, oh, this is easy. We can do this, you know?
Bro.
Okay, so once you get to the trail, there's like a fork, and it says difficult and easy. So
No, it was easy, more challenging. They were very inclusive with like the language.
More challenging, okay? Yeah. So there was a family with like 2 kids under 8, okay?
Say that again.
So there was a family.
Should I call them?
So there was a family with 2 kids under 8, right? I would say.
They were like just walking faster than us. They just had so much more pep in their step. Yeah. Allison was yawning already.
Bro, they went to the difficult side.
Yeah.
And mind you, we went to the easy side. And on top of that, I fucked up my toe.
In Vancouver.
Now my toe's fine now. Like, it only hurts for like
3 weeks later.
3 weeks later.
Jesus Christ.
3 weeks later, okay? So in Vancouver, I'll tell you guys the story because it relates to the trail story.
You just had so many bodily injuries.
Yes.
Like the soap falling.
You witnessed it too.
I thought it was dream.
What, when I hit my on the door?
No, when the laundry soap fell on your head. And I just heard, ow!
Yeah, the freaking huge ass Costco laundry soap fell on me, okay?
Fell on her head.
I literally thought I was gonna like pass out and die, okay? Anyways, So in Vancouver, our first day there, I hit my toe so hard on the table, like that. It was I was just in pain for like every single day. It was just like it just hurt.
We couldn't go up Joffrey Lake, which we'll talk about in the next pod. But like her toe was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And so
like the best way I can describe it is like in cartoon shows where like their heart is throbbing.
Yes. Sorry, I'm mid-July. It's like you feel it. Yes. Like it is that painful.
That's how it felt on my toe. Okay?
Bro, she like bought these like ACGs. She was ready for hiking season.
I was ready. Anyways,
tell me how.
We go to the Easy Trail. Anyways, back to Banff. We're on the Easy Trail. Easy. Okay? Easy. This freaking hike was like almost 2 hours uphill.
Right. We were like literally struggling.
Dying.
And everyone's like on the All Trails app, they're like beautiful, so easy.
Yeah.
And like obviously when you're hiking, you're going uphill to get the views. But guys, uphill constantly for hours sucks.
And it's not even like a smooth trail. Rocks.
Bro, rocks,
okay?
It's not like it's not a treadmill on 12 incline. It is rough.
Yeah, it was so hard. But then we stopped midway and then I was like, oh shit, there was like these grandpas.
Bro, everyone was so happy and nice coming down. They're like, good morning.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. How are you?
Me, I'm like
good. Good morning.
It's like, when you pass someone and you don't want them to know how heavy you're breathing, so you just stop.
Yeah, no, it was so rough. And I was like, okay, if these grandpas made it up there, I'm gonna freaking hold in my pain right now and just push through. There was times where I had to like walk backwards so that the pressure wasn't on my toe.
I would just turn around. I would see her walking back because she's like, don't wait for me, just go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I turn around and she's walking back.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm seeing kids come down. I'm like, not even just like little, like tiny little, like 10-year-old kids, okay? I'm
like
seeing like 2-year-olds,
yes.
4-year-olds, like full on families. And I was like, okay,
we can do this. Yeah.
I can do this.
We just aren't used to it. That's the thing.
You know what? It was just uphill and like
we could walk for 2 hours straight. Yeah. No problem. No incline. But the incline
killed me.
Exactly.
And then we got to the top.
Bro, it was worth it.
It was so beautiful. It was like clear blue water.
Yeah, the sun came out as we got to the top too.
And it was like just sparkling.
Like, the filters on Instagram or whatever where like it sparkles water or sparkle stuff. That was it in real life.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. We saw people like rock climbing. And then you got like a really nice view of Canmore as well. Mm-hmm. So like that was really nice.
It was just very beautiful.
Yeah,
overall.
Honestly, the struggle was worth it.
Yeah. I realize we have to struggle to get through to the good views.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll train next time.
Yeah, we'll train next time, but like it was so cold once you got to the top.
Which makes me understand, because we would always joke about this, where people like did not know how to dress because they'd be wearing shorts and then a parka. Or like a bubble jacket. We're like, what's the point? But when we got to the top, we're like, oh.
I get it.
This makes sense. Yeah.
It was freezing, you guys. Mm-hmm. Like, I packed... Okay, I looked at the weather. It was like 17 degrees, 20 degrees, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then at night, it was like 8 degrees or 10 degrees. And I'm like, okay. So I packed, like,
what you would usually wear.
Here.
Yes. But guys, it's different out there because it's dry.
Yeah, you know what? Like, bring your Canada Goose, man.
No, it's true.
Bring your Macaj. It is so freaking cold. Bring gloves. I wish I brought gloves.
Oh my god, especially when we were like on Lake Louise. Yes. We could have used that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great.
So that was our first official day in Banff.
I'm laughing because I saw one of the next points we didn't talk about, which was when you're using the GPS and you're going to Banff and whatever, the GPS doesn't really take into consideration some signs. So as you're going to Banff, there's a lane that you go through if you're a pass holder. So you have the Banff pass. There's one.
Think about it. It's like, you know, when you go to the States and you cross the border, that's what it looks like.
It's a toll. Yes, literally a toll. Like you go through. So our GPS led through pass holders. But at that point, we didn't have a pass yet.
We didn't have a pass at the time.
Because we had to buy the pass with this whole thing with our Airbnb host, and he, like, reimbursed us. Yeah. We went through the wrong way, and we're like, oh, my God. So we, like, stopped on the side.
And we were like, what do we do? Like, we don't have a pass. I'm like, we can't do anything. Yes. You literally can't do anything.
We also don't want to get fined. Yeah. Like, I don't know how they look at this stuff.
So I'm like, okay, we have to turn back. Right? You guys. Imagine like highway. Imagine the 401, okay? The 401. And there's toll booths, right? So I had to wait for all the cars to like pass. And I did a U-turn.
An illegal U-turn. Allegedly. But we didn't know it. Because there were no cars going through that lane. And we're like, okay, that must be like an exit lane.
Yeah. That's what we're thinking. We're like, oh, this is an exit lane. I'll just do a U-turn and go back around. Right? Bro. As we're passing one of the booths, like the lady comes out. She's just like so confused. She's like, what is happening? And I realized, I'm like, Call, this is a one-way. It's a freaking one-way highway.
Because as soon as you went through, more cars started coming through the other way. And we're like, oh my God, imagine.
Like, holy shit. So, like, I quickly turned into the first booth that was open. And I'm like, holy shit, let's just pretend that never happened, okay?
No one was saying anything at that point.
I know, right? So, whatever. So, we got the passes, whatever. And where did we go that day?
We went to the... Sulphur Mountain,
definitely. You guys have to do Sulphur Mountain. So beautiful. Worth the price to go up and have lunch.
Definitely get the deal. So get like the gondola as well as like the lunch or like dinner like package.
Yeah, because we got the package, which was $64.
No, it was 70 something or
including
80
tax.
Yeah, but the ticket itself just to go up the gondola was like
$60.
Yeah, so you save money there if you want to eat lunch too, which if you're walking around a lot, you need. So we got there, and as we're like parking up, this comes to the next point. Everywhere we travel, we like to get tattoos or try to, right? So we tried to schedule one for Calgary and like get a tattoo there sometime the week we were in Alberta. And
like
as we parked
Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, because we didn't have plans then. Yeah. As we park up at Sulphur Mountain, Allison's like, oh, our artist like messaged us. And we're like, oh my God. So we look at it. And this is the thing. When you are asking to like get fit in, like you will accommodate the artist's schedule. Yeah. We were there in the parking lot. We're like, we'll make this work. It'll be fine. Yeah. But it was such a roller coaster because she's like, go on this day. And then she's like, no, I have a spot available. And then we're like, okay, we'll go right after this and go there. And Allison's like, I'm wearing the wrong shoes. She was wearing boots up to like above her ankle.
Yeah. And that's where I thought I was going to get my tattoo.
Yes. That was your initial product placement for your tattoo. Yeah. And then I think at the end of it, she's just like, okay, stick to like another day.
Yeah. So she's like, let's just stick to Friday.
And we're like, okay. But I went through so much emotions during those like 20 minutes because I was just like, that was the day before we were getting paid. But I didn't realize I just got paid today.
Paul thought she was getting paid that week, bro. She got paid this week, okay?
Yeah, I was like mixing up Allison's pay schedule with mine, but that was before money was coming in. Yeah. And so we're like, we'll try to make it work. It's fine. We ended up getting our tattoos, which we'll talk about later. But Sulphur Mountain.
Beautiful.
Someone was telling me, they're like, be careful because it's really fast on the way up. And we're like, we've been to a gondola. We've been to see the sky before. It's fine. Guys.
This one's fast.
It's fast. Like, you accelerate, but you need to because it's so far. Yeah. But must I say, the views were beautiful.
Yeah, I think I had like my best picture there.
Which picture?
The one on the Polaroid.
Oh, yeah. But the wind could take away a baby. Like, it is so strong. Yeah. Anything you did to your hair that day, gone. Yeah. Like any piece of paper you're holding, gone. Allison's Polaroids were hanging on for dear life.
Oh, I was holding on so tight.
I know. I saw like how much pressure was on your finger.
I was like, if this flies away, oh my god.
But it was, I don't know how to describe it other than just like otherworldly. Mm-hmm. Like people are probably bored of mountains who live there. But for us, it was like the first time seeing it because Toronto's so flat. Like literally everything aside from
Niagara Falls or Hamilton.
Yeah.
Right? But this view was unreal.
Yeah. I can never get tired of it, like looking at it. We got some really good pictures of it.
Yeah, like I think about like if we didn't get the package and like didn't have lunch, like I would still go and pay that $60 because literally the views up there is like worth like, it's like priceless, literally.
Yeah, they have those Muskoka chairs for like, they have so many because you know people want to stay there and just like soak it in.
Yeah.
The air hits different up there.
Crisp.
It was so like breathing in mint. Like that's what it feels like. It was so relaxing. I loved it.
Yeah.
So many people came up to us to take pictures. I would offer to take pictures for some people when they're struggling. Mm-hmm. We saw this really cute Korean family too.
First of all, Call was like, let me tell you, Call was staring down this rich Korean family for like 20 minutes. We were sitting on the chairs. And Call's like, I should just ask them. Should I just ask them? Like,
because this is what they were doing, okay? They got their daughter to take pictures of them. And then instead of their daughter,
like 5, okay?
Instead of their daughter in the picture, they used a doll in her place. And I'm like, yo, they need me.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, Call, let them come up to you, man. Don't offer. Like, let them just come up to you. Call's like, no. This is the closest I'll ever get to a rich Korean.
Because if you know from our other podcast, I watched mine. Mm-hmm. And you can sniff out a rich Korean. Oh,
yeah, 100%. She was like decked out in Burberry too, okay?
She just looked expensive. You know what I mean?
100%. So Paul goes and takes the picture.
Yeah, I'm like, do you guys want a picture? And they're like, yes. And they like bow. And I was like, ah! So I took a couple pictures for them. And then I like loved it. Thank you. You don't see us, but we're nodding. They're like bowing. Such a beautiful experience for me. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had lunch there too.
Yeah, we had lunch there. It was really good. It was like buffet style.
But really good quality food. Like the roast beef was actually really good.
Oh yeah. But roast beef for lunch too.
I know, that's a dinner thing.
I know. I was like, what the heck?
It was so good. Even their soup, you liked it, right?
Yeah. And I don't like soup, you guys.
Yeah.
But I was just cold. I was so cold. Then I'm like, let me get some soup, you know.
And we were eating by the mountains because we had a window seat. Yes. It was just so nice. That was a really nice day.
It really was.
We got some of our best pictures.
Yep.
And I think, what else did we do that day?
Nothing. Oh, wait.
Wait
a minute. We went back to our notes. So, you know that iconic Banff picture in the middle of the village? Mm-hmm. You guys know, just Google it. Google Banff Village or go on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Okay, in the middle of the village, you're going to see like the perfect silhouette of the mountain. That it's just perfect. It's literally the perfect picture.
And it's amplified when you take it during sunset. Yeah. So we finished at Sulphur Mountain at like 3 or 4.
Like 4:30. So
then we drove back and we're like, okay, it's a waste if we go back and forth. So we just parked up in the village. Mm-hmm. But then sunset was at 7:30. So we were there at 5 and we're like, what do we do? And so we're just sitting there and I was like, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, Call's like, I need a nap. I was like, okay, fine. And I was like, okay, I'll just charge my phone. I'm like, okay, I'll sleep for an hour.
No, because you're like, let's wait until 6 and then pay for parking so we can like save some money.
Yeah, so then I was charging my phone. I don't know what nap Call was talking about. She was full on sleeping, like snoring so loud.
I don't like there. It was it's honestly on the level of that one power nap we had. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
It's not at that level, but very similar to it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what happened, but I was having like a dream. I can't describe it, but I woke up right at 6 and I was like, because we're having steak for dinner that night, right?
Oh, yeah.
I woke up and I'm like, I want rice balls with my steak.
Oh, yeah. Cole wakes up out of like nowhere, like out of her sleep, like literally imagine like mid snore And then she wakes up and goes, I want rice balls. I was like, rice balls? Like, what the hell are you talking about, rice balls?
It's like when you mix like rice with like seasoning, sesame seeds, and like nori. And it's like a little side dish that you eat with like protein, because I saw a lot of Koreans do it. It just came to me and I was like, we had salad, but it was fine.
Yeah.
But I woke up, we tried taking pictures with the sunset, but it was really cloudy that day. Yeah. But we still got good pictures.
We still got cute pics, you know. It was, like, still an iconic moment to be there. Mm-hmm. Literally the whole time, I'm like, wow, we're so lucky.
Yeah. Just seeing it up close, too. Like, it's true what they say about pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
What is this? Next point. You're good?
You're good? I don't know.
Oh.
I wrote, you're good.
Okay, I think because there's, like, a lot of trucks in Alberta, you need it for the winter season. So we were trying to get out, and you can't see anything. You rely on your passenger to tell you if you're good. Do you remember?
No.
Do you remember?
Oh, yes, you guys. Okay. So, I don't usually forward park, but when I do. So, when I do forward park, there's like 80% of the time there's a truck beside you, okay? Like 80% of the time there's a truck beside you. There's just trucks everywhere. So I can't see like my right side as I'm backing up, right? So I'm like, call, can you tell me if I'm good? Right? And mind you, so the back camera, it's like a wide angle. So I can see like the bottom, like if there's a car coming, right? So I'm like, call, am I good? And she's like, yeah, you're good. Freaking white car just goes, freaking just past us. I'm like, call!
I am not good!
I'm like, I'm not good! What are you talking? And Cole's like, oh, sorry. I didn't see it. So I'm like, why did you say I'm good if you didn't see it?
It's like me saying thank you for you with drivers.
Oh my fucking God, man. I was like, you know what? Let me just freaking rely on my own instincts at this point. Like, fuck me. Anyways, what is this? Tuesday, we go to, Wednesday. Sorry, on Wednesday. Wednesday, we woke up at 5 a.m.
Pretty much, yeah.
5 a.m. We left around 6 a.m. so that we can go to Lake Louise and watch the sunrise. Okay, then sunrise is at 7:24 in the morning. Okay? So, 6-ish, not even 6 a.m., like 6-ish, we left the place, and it's still dark, and Lake Louise is over an hour drive, okay?
Yeah, at that point.
Yeah. And so, I'm driving in the dark, blasting music and singing just to stay awake, and Call is having the best nap of her life.
I just couldn't control my sleep. Like, I just fell asleep.
I'm just like, you were supposed to keep me up. But I guess I will just sing until we get there for like an hour.
I woke up to pink clouds. It was very beautiful.
Yeah, I'm like, this fucking bitch, man. But I hope you're enjoying your nap.
We got lost because I think the GPS led us to like the view. And so we had to go to the actual lake.
Yeah, like
where the Fairmont was.
Yeah, you had to drive like all the way to the Fairmont Hotel was. So we're like, oh, it's going to be just us and like maybe like 10 other people.
Because we're early.
It's so early, bro. There was like 50 other people there.
Yeah, as we were going in, there were so many cars just parking. And we're like, oh my God.
Yeah, and like parking enforcement is already there, right? So they're telling you where to go and everything. And like, honestly, what I really enjoyed about our trip was like everyone's really respectful of each other's like time and taking pictures. Like there was like no shame in it. You want to take a selfie, go ahead, take your selfie.
Yeah.
Even like people offering to take your picture and stuff. And it's like, hey, I'll take your picture, then you can take mine, you know? And it was like everyone was really trying to get your best angles. Like that one girl.
We saw her at Sulphur Mountain.
Yeah, we saw her at Sulphur. Because when you climbed up.
When you go up the gondola, you can choose to climb up, or you can just use the gondola. Mm-hmm. And she was one of the ones that went up herself. And then we recognized her because Allison was like, "That's her."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Can you take my picture? My boyfriend tries, but he's not good." Yeah. And we felt so bad because like the boyfriend tries, man. Both his hands on the camera. Knees, like I saw his vision, but it wasn't her vision. Yeah, you know.
But, so you saved her.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we went there for sunrise, and there was no sunrise.
No sunrise because there was like a huge cloud.
It would not leave.
Yeah.
Everyone was just there. There were people who had full face of makeup on.
Yeah.
Heels. They were ready for pictures. And
ready for the sunrise picture.
know. And it never came.
Never happened until like, what, 12?
Yeah, a few hours. We were there from 7 till like 12, I think, at one. Because we were... till 11, because we were canoeing.
Yeah, so we went to the Fairmont to use the washroom. And we walked back, okay, and we're like, oh, let's look at the canoe, see how much it is. And then we're just like standing there for a bit, and then like I turn, like, in the corner of my eye, I'm just like, is that M? So like our friend M and Randy was also there in Banff. Yeah. But we didn't plan this. We didn't plan to meet up that day.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm just like...
We also weren't supposed to go to Lake Louise on Wednesday.
Yeah. No, we were supposed to go on Tuesday, I think it was. So I was like, is that M? So like I went up to her. I was like, excuse me, can you take a picture? And she's just like, yeah. And she's like, oh my God. So like, we bumped into our friends. It was just like really chill. And then we took pictures. And then last minute, we're like, should we go in the canoe? Should we do this?
Yes, because once in a lifetime experience, but also it was expensive.
It was expensive. And plus, guys, it was cold.
It was so cold. Like, I felt like my hands were going to blister from the wind. Mm-hmm. But we went there.
We went. So we're like, hey, you know what? Let's just do this. So we did the canoe. Bro. I'm like, call, turn, like paddle. We're going to hit the rocks, right?
I like put my paddle down for 10 seconds.
Yeah. And all then, like, Cole's not responding to me, okay? And Cole's like, sorry, I was taking pictures. And I'm like, Cole, we're going to crash. And then you hear the whistle in the dock.
Bro, the girl was like, if you can't do it, just come back.
She's like, come back to the dock. And she's like whistling at us. And I'm like, Cole, we're going to crash. And then I'm like, oh, okay, fuck. I accepted it. I'm like, we're going to crash. It's fine. We're not going that fast where it's going to break, okay? Mm-hmm. But Cole's like, oh my gosh, oh no, what are we going to do?
Because I hate being in water like that. Like, that is one of my fears.
Cole was full on panicking. But I'm at the front, okay? And I'm just like, I've accepted this. It's okay. We are not going to die.
But you pushed us with, I think you used your paddle.
I used their paddle
to push it against the rock.
Back. Mm-hmm. And then once we were back, we were just paddling forward towards the mountains.
And that's when you became useless, because you just kept taking pictures.
Yeah.
And every time Allison was paddling, I'm like, don't paddle. Because, like, she would ruin the direction I was trying to go in.
Yeah.
And, like, every time I went one way, she would go the same way I was going. And I'm like, stay where you are. I'm like, Allison, just don't take pictures. Just don't do anything. It's fine.
So I'm just like, okay, fine, you paddle. So Cole is paddling. And I was just taking videos and pictures. And it was just so beautiful. The water was so blue. Mm-hmm. And this is when the sun finally came out.
It was so bright. Like, it was difficult to see at one point.
Yeah, you needed sunglasses. Like, it was so bright.
But the canoe was also so sensitive because it wasn't that tall.
Yeah.
So, like, any movement you made, guys, like, would move the canoe that way.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get a good picture with the mountains because Allison couldn't turn around or else we would fall over. But for some reason, M was able to do it. A skill.
M is literally, like, 2 pounds and Randy is, like, a pile of bricks, okay? He's, like, 6'5".
Yeah.
So he's probably not 6'5", I don't know.
I think he's like 6'2".
Yeah, and so she
watch him be 5'11". No hate. He's way taller than 5'11". I know this.
And then so obviously she was able to like turn around in the canoe, take a picture of Randy. But I was like, call here, selfie. That's it. That's all you get.
I was like, wow, love
like,
it.
This is it. Love
but
it.
I don't trust you to steer at the same time, so it was fine.
But then when we were going back, because it's been like 40 minutes, and we only paid for 30 minutes. Okay.
Right.
So we turn around. We finally turned the canoe around.
Mm-hmm.
We were far.
That's the thing about water is that, like, you lose track of time. And, like, as you're paddling, the current also moves you. Like, they were a speck at the dock. And I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
We weren't even that close to the mountains yet.
Yeah.
Like, Em and Randy went to the mountains.
All the way down, yeah.
Yeah. But
I didn't even know you can go all the way down there.
I didn't either.
I'm like, we're not going all the way there.
But the view we had also, like, that's what, you know how you're like, you had moments where you're like, we're so lucky, we're so privileged. Mm-hmm. That was my moment on Lake Louise where I'm like, I feel so lucky to do this. Because the mountains up close, like,
on the water, you guys.
It was with the sun out. There was like a sprinkle of snow at the top of the mountains too. It was so beautiful.
It was definitely so beautiful. But when we had to paddle back, we're like, fuck.
We were far.
It took us another 20 minutes to paddle back.
Yeah. So then we went back, and we were really tired, Allison even more, because she was driving. So we went back to the B&B and took a nap, because Em and Randy are like, what are you doing after? Yeah. Like, let's meet up. Cool. So we took a nap.
Yeah, because we got home around 3:30.
Yeah, we slept, got ready, cleaned up, and then had Em and Randy over.
Yeah, we just had a little tequila night.
It was insane how much time passed by, because they came at, like, what, 9:30?
Yeah.
And they left at 2.
Yeah.
It's a full-on 5-hour shift if you've ever had one, but I'm just like, that did not feel that way.
No, it was like tequila and pizza, you know?
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. And honestly, it was just like good conversation.
Good vibes.
Yeah, I'm happy we bumped into them that day.
Yeah, it was really good. If they're listening,
yes.
We love you.
So anyways, Thursday comes around and it's tattoo day.
Woo!
So we drove back into the city, and it was about an hour and a half from Banff to like main Calgary downtown area. Mm-hmm. So we drove an hour and a half, got our tattoos. Shout out to Steph, she's amazing.
From 9 Element Tattoos.
She's so pretty.
She is very pretty.
She's so pretty. I was like, wow.
She's from Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
Yeah, but her and her, I don't know, siblings moved out both to Alberta at one point. But guys, if you're ever in Calgary and want a tattoo, go to 9 Element Studio and go to Steph.
Another place you should also go, here on our notes right here, is Rocky Mountain Bagels.
They're open at 6.
We did not know they were open at 6 a.m.
Yeah, not until we were leaving at 6.
Yeah.
And realized.
But it's so, oh my gosh. Like,
it's so good.
They're not, is it thin? Would you say they're thin bagels?
They're thinner than usual bagels, yes.
So, but then they're like really light, but then crunchy.
Yes, if they're toast. And they do like open-faced bagels. They have so many options for the types of bagels and like the cream cheeses also.
My favorite was the rosemary. No, was it sage?
It's rosemary.
Oh, rosemary.
And sea salt.
Rosemary and sea salt bagel.
That, okay, so that with butter, like fresh out of the toaster, wow. It was so good.
Yeah, and they were really cautious with your allergies also.
Yes, because I had a soy allergy, and they asked for the green geisha, which is like a matcha latte. And the lady went up to the guy, or the guy came up to the cash, and then she's like, she's allergic to soy. And he like replaced his gloves and everything. Very thankful. Great service. But again, a lineup after we left.
So, another point on our notes is call, spelling out her name when we got there. So we all know, like, if you've listened to our previous pods, okay?
I just saw the note.
So whenever call orders anything or reserves anything, she always uses my name. Always.
Because it's Allison, right? Yeah. It's so easy to say.
Yeah.
Bro.
So when Call orders her bagel, they're like, sorry, what's your name? And she's like, Coleen. And she spells it. She's like, Coleen. And she's like, okay, got it.
Bro, we're waiting.
We're waiting. I'm waiting for you. Okay, I got my stuff.
Yeah.
And we're waiting. And then all I hear, Collie? Yo.
I was like, come on. I spelled my name.
Oh my gosh, that was so
funny.
It
was so
funny. And then the second time we went, Call is just like, do you want to just like order ours together? I'm like, no, go ahead and order first. I don't know what I'm getting yet. And then now I know why, because he wanted to use my name.
Yeah, because I'm like, how confusing would it be to have two Allisons back to back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Difficult. I'm just trying to make it easier for everyone, including myself. But like, Collie? That is not me.
All right.
That was Thursday. It was pretty chill after that. It was like aftercare for tattoos.
I don't remember what we did on Friday.
What was on Friday? Wasn't Friday Lake Moraine?
All right, so let's just do a little backstory again.
Backtrack,
because we got the days mixed up. So Thursday,
yes,
we got tattoos done on Friday actually. So Thursday, we're just gonna go back a day. We did a little mini road trip, and then we also went to Lake Moraine.
So there's this thing in Alberta called the Icefields Parkway,
Beautiful.
And Allison this whole time was like, just Google Iceland's highway, and I'm just like, I'm not getting the searches, and I'm like, Iceland Highway Alberta, and they're like, if you're from Iceland, this is what you do, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like it. It is literally the same energy of you calling Descendants.
You mean Descendants decadence?
God. We went to Icefields Parkway, which is
Icefields Parkway, where it's basically the highway that leads to Jasper. And there's different stops, like, in between where you can go to different
lakes and mountains.
Yeah, and it's, like, this one highway where it's just, like, the views are literally breathtaking.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
But you know what also was unreal? The size of the fucking crows
God.
There.
These crows are the size of, like, a Pomeranian, bro.
They're huge.
Not even joking. Like, they're literally the size of a Pomeranian.
They could be eagle size at that point, too. Because, like, if you're from Toronto, you know what crows look like.
Yeah.
You know, tiny little black birds. Think about 5 of them together.
Not even 5. Carl, literally think about a Pomeranian. This thing is bigger than a Chihuahua, okay?
Yeah, it's true. It's like, huge, guys.
It's huge.
And we weren't the only ones fascinated by it. Because we were at one stop. And my mask flew away. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to get my mask, but this crow was taunting me. And I kept coming up to my mask. And I gave up. I borrowed one of Allison's masks. But as we're leaving, this old guy comes up. And against this beautiful mountain view, he decides to spend his time taking pictures of the crows.
Yeah.
And following them around.
Yeah.
And it was the cutest thing and most endearing thing to see him do that.
Yeah, those crows were freaking huge.
They were huge.
We took pictures at Bow Lake. A lot of the lakes were closed, and like Steph was saying, like our tat artist, she was saying it's because of mostly because of the season, and also like just to control the crowds as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that makes sense. But so we went through the Icefields Highway for about like I would say an hour and a half. 2 hours,
because Bow Lake was literally the only one that was open.
Yeah,
we passed by like 4 other lakes and they were all closed.
Yeah, so we just stopped at like wherever there was like a side view where you can park up.
Yeah,
so we just stopped there. So like, yeah, it was really nice. And then on the way back, because to get to Lake Moraine you have to buy shuttle tickets because there's not enough parking at the actual like Lake Moraine like parking lot. So there's shuttle buses that go there and you have to like drive up the mountain.
Oh my god. So this is why we chose to go to Lake Moraine after Icefields, right? Because it was later in the day. We were trying to make sunset.
Yeah.
Or just before sunset. And you don't have to do the shuttle because the shuttle is a good 15-20 minutes.
No, not even, because so the shuttle bus is where the highway is.
Yeah, so how far is that?
That's like more than 30 minutes.
It was far, and I'm like, why would you go there? So anyways, we were driving there, and we were driving back specifically because we're like, ooh, we'll make it look like we went to Lake Louise.
Yeah.
Just go.
So what we did was, because they block off the roads, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But there's another way into Lake Moraine where if you're coming from Lake Louise, it looks like you're exiting Lake Louise.
And
right?
it's like, let me make a stop.
And it looks like it's blocked off because they blocked off half of the road, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not blocked off, okay? They just do that to, like, control, like, people, like, going in and out. So we drove to Lake Louise, and from Lake Louise, it's probably 15 minutes from there.
Yeah.
So we drove to Lake Louise, and then we're exiting Lake Louise, okay? And there's a sign for Moraine Lake, which you're not supposed to really go through because that's where shuttles go through. And I'm like, screw it, let's go. So I turned, and then the other cars behind me were like they stopped, and they were like, wait, can we go? And they all started following me, and I'm like, oh shit. If I lead them to, like, the wrong place,
you're gonna get blamed.
Yeah, or, like, there's no parking, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So then we're, like, driving up, and it's, like, the road, so it's, like a huge, like, S. Like I don't know how to describe it.
On the GPS, it literally was, like, you know, the
like
greater,
a sharp turn.
You know the greater than and less than signs? Like, that is how sharp they were.
Yeah. It was that sharp. And then you don't see it when you're going up the mountain, but when you're going down, you're literally on the edge. There's no railings, okay? So if you
fall,
that's it.
You're dead.
R.I.P. R.I.P., man.
Have fun bringing your body back from wherever you came.
Just leave me here with the bears.
Leave me here.
Yeah.
They'll use you. They'll put you to good use.
So we get to Lake Moraine, and that was my favorite view, only because it's on my vision board.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, holy shit.
I didn't know how beautiful it was, especially when we went up the rock steps.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because we took pictures at, like, the lower level. Right, where, like, the beach area is.
Oh, and that's when we saw the two Beethoven dogs?
Yeah, those, like, Saint Germain dogs or something.
Yeah, they are literally the size of a human.
Bro, she said that they weigh 230 pounds.
2 of them were in their SUV, and I'm like, you have to be a dog lover? Or, like, you know how some people love breeds? Like, certain breeds of dogs? They are, like, a Beethoven kind of dog.
Yeah. So, that view was definitely my favorite because it was on my vision board. Like, and I've always, like, just imagined that view for, like, years.
Yeah. I never knew. Honestly, I didn't know we had something so beautiful in Canada.
Yeah. And I was just sitting there, and I was just, like, looking out, and I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is perfect.
There was a lot, I felt a lot of serenity just, like, staring, because it was the right amount of water. It was blue water. The right amount of mountains with snow and the sunlight peeking through.
Yes.
And then you had the green of the trees, and it was just, like...
And then we saw another bride.
This is our...
The fourth bride we've seen on our trip to Vancouver and, like, Alberta. We just kept seeing brides, and, like, you know, it's good luck when you see the bride.
Yeah.
So we saw another couple, like, taking pictures, and we're like, oh my god, like, you know.
So cute.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Yeah,
so...
we went to, like, the nice, like, the barrier area, you know, where it's just like, this is where you stay. There was another area where you went up a little bit more.
You can go up a little more, but, like, that area, there's a lot of people there.
You're on top of rocks, and when we were down, we saw people almost fall, and we're like, we can't do that.
Yeah, I was like, no thank you, I will stay here. The view is perfect.
Right.
So
yeah,
this leads us to another point on our notes.
Meeting.
We met, like, a tita and tito.
We're not related to them, but they're Filipino.
Not related, but they're Filipino, you know? So they asked for pictures, like, you know, and they're like, you know, they're cute. They're just exploring the area. And then Colin and I were taking pictures, and then...
When Allison was taking pictures, I saw the tita come back, and she was, like, she was looking around, and she was holding her ear. And I was like, oh, did you lose your earring? And she's like, yeah. And so automatically I'm in, like, search mode. Yeah. Allison turns around and she's like, what does it look like? Like, we just went into search mode. Because you know what it feels like when you lose something.
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
like, oh, it's my mother's earring.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, no, okay. So then we're like, where did you go? And she was only, like, in our area and plus, like, climbing up the stairs, right? So we're like, okay, well, when we go down, we're going to look for it also. I didn't realize they were in front of us either.
Same, because we were looking at the ground. So as we're going down back the steps to our car, to the parking lot, because it was like almost dinner time.
Yeah.
We kept looking at the floor and we didn't know they were in front of us. But Allison's like, what does it look like again? I'm like, it's black with like a gold.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, maybe it's like near her, like maybe it's in her car. I'm like, yeah, it's probably near her car or something, you know?
Because I was like, watch it be in her car.
Yeah. And then Colin and I were like, oh, what if we find it? We're like her good luck charm.
I know. I was like, we're going to go back.
And then so we finally met them at the bottom of like the mountain hill that we were on. And then we're like, oh, sorry, I didn't find it on the stairs. She's like, I know. Thank you for looking. I saw you guys looking, whatever.
Yeah.
And then so we're all walking to our car and like, we were like ahead of them and like we passed. We're like, hey, good luck. We hope you find it, you know?
And as we're walking, all we hear is, and Elsa and I turn around. And then
like,
they
did
come
you
around.
find it? And
She's like, it was in my car.
No, it's outside her car.
Oh.
Right outside her car. She's like, it was right here. And then even the husband was just like, yeah.
We're like, what did we say? What did we say? We were in such a good mood. Because as we were leaving, we're like, man, we hope she finds it.
Yeah. We were just like, I'm like, you're going to find it. You're like, so play lottery.
All of this, like the fourth bride, helping them find their earring. We're like, we need to go get the lottery.
Yes. So leads us to our next note. Winning $65 million.
Okay. Clearly, we didn't win.
Well, we didn't win $65 million, but we did win $20.
Woo! Because Allison's like, oh yeah, like your ticket was it in Vancouver or something? I bought one ticket somewhere.
I bought one ticket in Vancouver. I didn't check it yet.
Oh, because you know what? If you have the OLG app, it does not read West Coast barcodes. So you have to go to the store and like get a sign. But good luck on us. We were just like, we need to be more specific with what we manifest.
Yeah. Which is why we put here $65 million, but we won $20. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Next time. Better than nothing, let's be honest.
So we are towards the end of our trip now.
The last day.
The last official day, so which was Saturday. And I booked reservations. Well, I was put on a list to this restaurant called The Bison. And it was like top 10 restaurants of Canada or whatever. And it's just like the number one restaurant in Banff, you know?
We're like, okay. And it's basically rustic. That's the kind of energy it gives. It's on like a line of like restaurants, but there's like levels to it, and it was quite spacious.
Yeah, so like their menu always changes based on the season.
Farm to table.
Yep. So we call, and it's like, so she said that they'll call us if a spot opens, right? So this is around 4. We're in the village. We're just walking around, taking pictures, and I call, and I'm just like, hey, just wanted to follow up if I'm able to get like a table for today, right? I was put on the list because it was booked for like 2 weeks out.
Yeah. Right?
So she's just like, oh, unfortunately, like we don't have like any openings at the moment. But if you come in at 5:30, I can squeeze you in. I was like,
we're like, wait.
Did you just say there's no openings?
We're like, of course.
Yeah, because the restaurant opens at 5, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh yeah, 5:30 is great. We're just walking around the village right now. And she's like, perfect. I'll book you in. Come in at 5:30. Bring your vaccine cards, whatever. I'm like, okay, thank you. See you then. Service was great. Food was great. Wine was great.
So we're like,
to another note.
If we're going all out for dinner, which we did, we're like, let's get wine.
Always, yeah.
So we got a glass of rosé Malbec, right? And we've had wine on the trip like a lot over the last 2 weeks, but this one hit different.
Yeah, it did.
It was really good. It was good. They gave us our rosé. we were gonna toast. Bro. I don't even know how to describe it, but it reverberated, okay? We were like, cheers! And when you
clink
of the glass, like, you know when it sounds rich?
Yes.
Like, and it was so funny because we made eye contact at the same. Do you remember? Yes.
It was literally like, okay, cheers, clink. Like, but the clink, it was like, it vibrated, okay?
Yeah.
And we're like, Colin and I looked at each other, we're like, real glasses, because we've been to restaurants, okay?
Yeah.
Where you clinked and it wasn't real glass, okay? And we're like, oh my God.
It was like, literally the note, cheers with our rosé, and the real glasses made a beautiful clink. Locked eyes with the same look. It was beautiful.
It was so beautiful.
We had the chef's special, which was bison
done 3 ways.
Oh my God. Except the sausages, everything was great.
Yeah, we're not really sausages fans like that.
Right.
But, like, the pasta was also really good.
Yeah, we had pesto pasta.
It was like a rigatoni. Like, I
like
don't
tomato
know.
compote. There was sunflower and, like, garlic.
And burrata.
Oh, yeah. The burrata was so good.
It was just so freaking
We had short rib bison. We had bison steak. They're like, the chef recommends medium rare.
Okay, he's like, the chef recommends medium rare. We're like, okay, that's fine with us.
But it was, honestly...
But it was medium.
It was medium at that point.
It was medium. And I was just like, oh, whatever. Whatever, it's fine.
It was really good. That was really meant for 4 people. He said 2, and I'm like, there's no way we could finish this.
There's no way people could finish this.
When you have too much meat, like, you know, when it gets too much.
Yeah, but the veggies were really good. We had, like, asparagus with bok choy and polenta.
Polenta, like, cream? Or... It wasn't the usual polenta you're thinking about.
It was so good, though.
It was good. And they had a chimichurri sauce.
Yes.
That cut the thing of the meat. It was so good.
Yeah. So that was our last night.
It was beautiful.
Banff. Yeah. You know what I've learned through this trip? I was like, if Call doesn't eat on time, she's just grumpy.
Yeah.
For no reason, okay?
I just like...
I'm just like, I know, Call just needs food in her system now.
You know what it is? It's like you're not you when you're hungry. It's the Mars commercial.
Yeah. It's literally like Call doesn't want to take proper pictures. Doesn't want to do anything, but it's just like, we need to go get food right now.
I went to Circle K to get food and my mood changed. Mm-hmm. When my blood sugar is too low, like it... Oh, yes, I'll talk about that in Vancouver, where I literally almost fainted.
In Vancouver, let's save that. In Vancouver.
Yes,
because,
oh my God.
First of all, E and I forgot you have diabetes, and because so here's the thing. Traveling with, like, 3 people who have 3 different eating schedules...
Oh, because E was fucking intermittent fasting, so but on EDT time.
Yeah, so fat. So E fasts until 3 p.m., which is 12 p.m. in Vancouver, which is fine.
Yes.
So E fasts till 3 p.m., but with me, like, I don't eat breakfast. Like, I just
She eats
coffee.
1 meal a day.
Yeah, I need coffee, like, snacks in between. Like, probably 2 coffees a day, snacks in between. And then, like, I like having, like, a nice, like, dinner. Like, you know?
Yeah. I need to have 3 meals a day or I could die.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, coffee, water.
I need it. Yes, I need it.
At specific times, okay?
Yeah. It's crazy how my body, like, adapts to it. Mm-hmm. Because, like, I think we were in Vancouver and you're like, because I was like, can we go get, like, food first? Because, like, my blood sugar is really low.
Wait, which day wasn't this?
This is before we were going to Whistler, I think. Or, I don't know. Whistler? It was one of those days, but we were at the harbor and, like, it clicked for you later. You're like, I'm so sorry. I forgot you actually need to eat. Do you remember?
Dinner time. We're going for dinner, so let's save that for Vancouver story.
Oh, the chicken wing place?
Yes. Okay, so we'll save that for Vancouver story, because that story, it, like, registered for, like, me and the E. We're like, oh, yeah, you have diabetes. So sorry. So sorry.
Yeah. But it's okay. Our waitress was great. So, yeah, I, like... It's crazy how different you feel when you don't have food. Yeah. And so I was very grumpy trying to take pictures of Allison. Because I was like, what? I'm like, what angle do you want me to do? Yeah. Because I'm like...
it's 5 o'clock. I'm like, come on, take the freaking pictures. But 5 o'clock, it is 7 o'clock really in Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just like, oh, fuck this, man. Let's just go wait for a restaurant. Like, oh, no, sorry, let's go wait for a table.
Our table.
So, yeah.
The bison was great. Then we had beaver tails.
Oh, my God.
You know what? Those were the best beaver tails I've had.
Yeah, we've had beaver tails so many times, but, like, that was the best.
That was the best.
Yeah.
We brought the line yet again. Do you not remember? We were just, like, there were, like, 4 people. We were the 4th, like, people in line. And then when we were waiting, we turned around, and there was, like, 10 people behind us.
Yeah.
Insane. So good.
Yeah. So, let's just wrap this up with our last day. And our last 2 points here on our notes. So our flight is at 2 p.m. 2:30. 2:30, and we had to return the car by 12:30. So we had to leave Banff no later than 11.
Yeah.
Literally 11 o'clock, we have to be on road.
Yeah, because it's an hour and a half drive.
Yeah. So checkout is also 11 o'clock. Okay?
Oh my God.
So it is like 9 a.m. and I'm like getting ready slowly. I took a body shower. I'm just like packing the rest of the stuff that I need, right? Because we decided the night before, we're going to leave at 10 a.m., which gives us time to get bagels in the morning and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can get gas like near the airport, right?
Yeah, just like buffer time. Bro, I don't know what happened to my alarm until I realized I slept on it.
But here's the thing. I heard movement in your room. So I thought, I didn't want to bother
on my
you.
Bed, because I was tossing and turning.
Yes, it was the bed. No, but like I thought Cole was just like packing up, whatever. So I didn't want to bother her. I'm like, she knows we have to leave at 10. You know? She knows this.
I know.
So I'm like basically all packed now. I'm just putting away like my toiletry bag, right? I'm literally done.
You were drying your towel that you already washed? Like,
no, I didn't wash it. I was drying it because I didn't want a wet towel in my suitcase.
Oh, because you took a body shower.
Yeah, so I just put it in the dryer. So anyways, it's 9:50, right? And I'm like, Cole hasn't opened the door yet. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I knock and I'm like, call. No response. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, call. So I open the door. I'm like, fuck this shit. So I open the door. I'm like, call. And wakes. Huh?
I got, the comedic, when someone just gets up out of bed and just wakes up?
Bro.
I was like, what do you mean it's 10? I set an alarm for 8.
Fucking kidding me?
Because I woke up. Yeah. I stayed up the night before because I was doing my laundry, because my vision was like, I'm going to do all of my laundry, set up the clothes I need to do, and then when I come home, I just unpack everything into my cabinets, because we did not book the Monday off because we arrived in Toronto at 8. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm not going to do this. So I wanted to be prepared, but I stayed up late. Mm-hmm. And then I set my alarm for 8, and I'm like, I can sleep on 6 hours. I've done that before. Mm-hmm. But I slept on my phone.
Bro, I heard you still, I know you went to bed 2. Because, I was still up, and I can hear you, watching Chicago Med. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. But anyway, so 9:50, Cole wakes, what? Literally, the way she got up, it was she was sleeping on her stomach, okay? And she got up, swung up, and she's like, what? I'm like, Cole, it's 10 a.m. No, it's not.
Bro.
Yes, it is.
Bro, I tried so hard. So I put everything away. I did what I could. But then what we didn't realize was that everyone else checks out at 11. Yeah. And there's only 2 elevators in this building.
Yeah. So it took so freaking long because we had to toss out the garbage. So we're like, fuck it, let's just take the stairs. So we took the stairs down to toss out the garbage. Went back upstairs. Thankfully, because you're only allowed 4 people in an elevator, thankfully, the other family was like, it's okay, come in. Yeah. So we were pushed all of our stuff in the elevator. We're like, fuck, man. Guess what time we left?
11:30.
No. We left, no, just before 11:30. I would say 11:15.
Okay. Still semi good on time, but...
Yeah, so 11:15 we left. We were supposed to leave at 10. And I'm like, Call, there's no time for bagels.
I was rationing the fucking fruit to goes that M gave.
Oh yeah, so
and like I was eating Pringles crumbs.
Yes, at just 11 o'clock.
I was trying to balance out my blood sugar because I was like, we can't stop. We can't do this.
Yeah, so I forgot to so Em and Randy gave us like these fruit to go snacks that they got from like Costco, I think. And I'm like, they were a lifesaver, honestly, at this specific point.
Yeah.
Specifically. So I was like, call, we don't have time for bagels or coffee. We have to go. Yeah. Because we have to drop off the car at 12:30. If not, then we get charged extra.
Yeah. Like, and then check-in, we had to board at like 1:30. So it was a very tight window. Yeah. With like the check-in, security, and all that stuff.
Yes. So, and then everyone was like, and the highway was busy, but thankfully there was no traffic. Yeah. And we got to the airport 12:15. So, which gave us time to get gas. Yeah. So we got gas and we got to the car rental place at 12:27. Yeah. So we got there like, I mean, I wasn't going that fast.
Something worked in your favor driving.
Yeah, you know, I was just driving behind trucks, you know? That way, like, you know, if there's like any like speed cameras or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, get the truck first. Yeah. You know?
So then we did the thing. We check in. Our bags are at the right weight.
Literally 49 pounds. Okay, so I told Colin, like, listen, we should weigh this first. Yeah. We are not going to have another Vancouver moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So we weighed it, each one 49 pounds on the dot.
We're like, thank God. We did the thing. Yeah. We went through security, but like we were behind.
What?
We were behind like this elderly couple. Oh my God. And I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's their canes or like some other stuff, but they took so long. I felt so bad for them.
So they had to scan her cane like 3 times because her cane is one of those where it's hollow in the inside. So
and I get it. You can smuggle stuff in there or whatever.
And then like her purse, like, did you see her purse?
No.
So everything in her purse was packaged in little other packages. It was like
like the Russian dolls.
Yes, that's what it was like. And then so the guy was just like, the TSA guy was just like, he's like, man, do you mind if I open up your purse? She's like, go ahead.
She's like, just don't steal my money.
She's like, yeah. She's like, just don't steal my money. Whatever. And then so when he's opening her purse, like as I was watching this all happen, it was literally like another purse and then another purse. It was like she packaged everything individually. So obviously when it's going through the freaking scan,
it's so dense, right? It's
so dense. And literally it's like mini packages, right? So they're like, ma'am.
That's kind of cute. But then her husband brings a freaking blade.
A blade! Blade.
And the guy's like, sir, what do you call this? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, you just use it to like cut things and like fish or whatever.
Yeah. It was one of those fishing blades.
And he's like, the guy's like, you can either throw it out or keep it here for someone to pick up or find ways to mail it. And he's like, just throw it.
Yeah. But the TSA guy was like, sir, is there anything sharp in here that I should be aware of?
And he's like, nope.
Go ahead and check it.
What the fuck is up with that? Yo, did you give yourself a Canadian accent?
That is his voice. Nope. Go ahead and check it. Bro,
I hate you.
This guy opens literally the first thing he pulls out. A freaking knife.
It is knife level. Like, it's not even a tiny Swiss Army knife. Like, it's the blades.
It's a full-on blade. And he's like, oh, I use that for fishing in the woods, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when the TSA guy was like, oh, okay, no problem. Like, you could either do this. And then he's like, just toss it, no problem. I know. And then that's when his wife, she had to get her cane scanned like 3 times. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, there's nothing in there, so honey. There's nothing in there. Mm-hmm. But, like, they're just doing their job, right? They're just, like, laughing, whatever.
Because, you know, what was it? What's that thing? Border Patrol? Bro, people are dirtbags. And they use, like, their grandmas or, like, old people to, like, stuff things. And then they get, obviously, in trouble. So I get it. But it was just so funny seeing all of this.
Yeah, it was so funny. Because, you know what? We were waiting for Call's bag. Because Call's bag was also held up again.
Because I was like, I had my chocolate. I had my fruit bars, my Lar bar. It wasn't the chocolate.
But it wasn't the chocolate this time, but you thought it was the chocolate.
Because you know what? They took my thing, and then it went in the different lane. I'm like, fuck. So the lady was like looking for it, and I'm like,
that's
like,
mine.
I know it is. So she's like, do you have anything sharp in here? Or like food? And I listed my food. And then she opened it, and you know what it was? It was my Lysol wipes.
Lysol wipes.
My 80 wipe Lysol wipes. And she showed her colleague, and she's like, it's just so thick, we couldn't see through it. It looked like a big package of food.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Or it looks like cocaine. I don't know.
I don't know. So she's like, here you go. No problem. So we leave. As soon as we get through the gates, we're like, we need fucking coffee. So we need food right away.
Oh my God. So we got coffee.
Yeah.
And then we got...
Good.
It was really... What did I get? I think matcha.
You got matcha. I got a freaking venti.
Yeah, you needed
venti
it.
Caramel macchiato. It was so good. They made it with love that day.
We got Subway. And then as we're eating Subway, but right behind me is what's it called? The Thai Express.
Oh, Thai Express, yeah.
Allison's like, should I get pad Thai?
Yeah, because Carl's like, oh, I got a foot long. I'm like, why? And then Carl's like, it's a 4-hour flight. And I'm like, I'll be fine. Like, I have chips. And Carl's like, are you sure? It's like a 4-hour flight.
No, because then you're like, I'll just get the pizzas that they serve.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, if I get hungry, like, I could just buy food. Whatever. And then Carl's like, no, but it's like a 4-hour flight. It'll be like dinner time.
I'm like, do you want to? I'm like, maybe you should get pad Thai. Because like, everyone's getting pad Thai.
Yeah. So I'm like, should I get pad Thai? And Carl's like, yeah, you should, because it's like a 4-hour flight.
But then, this is the thing, though. It wasn't even a 4-hour flight.
No, it was like a 3-hour flight, and all I had to do was watch a movie and slept for like 30 minutes. I know.
Did you even eat your pad Thai?
No.
Did you give it to Justin?
Oh, no, like I ate it like the next day or whatever.
Oh
like...
my God, it was so funny. And then,
oh God.
Before, this was at Bison. This is the last point in our trip. We bought our tickets like in May.
Yes, this is our last
But
point.
because we got it so long ago, we kept getting emails of like, hey, your flight changed, whatever. And so as you're waiting for food at the Bison on Saturday, I was like, let's check us in.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I checked us in, and then they're like, confirm your seats. So I look at the seats, and as you know, I get the window, Allison gets the aisle, and right in the middle, there's an X, which means it's taken. Yeah. And we got so mad.
No, we got so pissed because this flight is packed.
Right.
It was packed. There was probably 3 seats available.
Yeah, they are all middle seats, but we were pissed because we're like, why did you have to choose our middle seat?
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, should we reschedule the flight? Should we leave?
Should we leave tonight?
Should we leave? No, you know why? Because it's $1,000. So
just to reschedule.
No problem.
So we're let's just suffer, right?
And then Allison on Saturday, what did you say?
Okay, I wasn't really serious. I was just like, well, what if this person misses their flight? So the day of the flight, when we get on the plane. Okay. I'm like, okay, everyone's pretty much seated right now. And it's not as packed as we thought it would be.
There were so many empty seats compared to what I saw.
We're like, what the heck? And I'm like, okay, maybe people are just running late. And I'm like, call.
But then the gate closes.
Yeah, and I'm like, call. The person is not here.
I'm like,
shut up. Shut up. Wait until the gate closes.
I'm like, do not jinx it.
Yeah.
Don't.
And Carl's like, wait until the gate closes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, fine. The gate closes. And I'm like, Carl, there is no one beside us.
And then we're like, oh my God. We put the tray down right away. We
put all our shit on the other seat.
Oh my God.
Put it all on the other side.
I was like, I'm like, I'm so sorry if you were the person that Allison
missed her flight. But maybe that person was like, oh, I don't want to be in the middle. Let me take the next flight.
Maybe. But then that flight was delayed, I saw on the board.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the flight was literally 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Not even 3 hours.
Not even 3 hours. We got to Toronto. It was fine, but it was disgusting how traffic it was at the airport.
So gross. Like, it was 8 p.m. in Toronto, and traffic all the way from the airport to, like,
Yorkdale.
Yorkdale area. So it was really busy when we arrived. But
We're back.
We're back to our regular scheduled lives.
I know. We're like,
Bro, it was a struggle. Monday, oh my god. It was so hard. This whole week.
It was so difficult getting up in the morning. But, like, I was fine the rest of the workday. Mm-hmm. But it was just, like, the struggle of waking up. Because I think if we went for a week, I would have adjusted so much faster.
Yeah.
But we were gone for 2 weeks.
We were gone for 2 weeks with 2 different time zones.
And here's the thing. I feel like I could adapt to a more extreme time zone, like 12 hours, than this dumb time zone.
Yeah, because it was, like, adjusting at 3, because Vancouver is 3 hours. Alberta's. And, like, we were always up at, like, 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then Alberta was 2 hours.
Yeah.
So.
But because we did so much in Alberta, too, we would wake up almost just, like, regular time there.
Yeah.
Which was later here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Allison and I were texting throughout the week, and we're like, we have to get it together for next week. Yeah. There's no fucking excuse.
Yeah, because you know what? This week, like, everyone's giving you, like, you know, a pass, because it's like, you're still in vacation mode. You're just catching up. And speaking of catching up, Monday, I had 789 emails.
I thought I was bad with 380 and, like, what is it, 120 Slack messages? But she's like, I'm halfway through, and it was lunchtime, and I was like, Godspeed.
Yeah, Monday, I was focused. By the end of Monday, I had 20 emails left, and, like, I had, like, you know those big notepads I have?
Yeah.
So I had a list of things to do by the end of this week.
What? My to-do.
Oh, yeah, I know. Every time I come here, you have a new to-do list. Like, the calendar board is clearly gone.
Oh, because I just could not. I needed to hang up stuff.
Yeah. So anyways, we are back. Next week's episode
will be Vancouver Storytime. With our sweetener.
We, again, took notes. There's so much funny stuff that happened.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. So the reason why we're doing Banff first is because, like, just scheduling conflicts with our sweetener. So we have to schedule the Vancouver Storytime, just an episode
It'll be the later one, yeah. But you know what? It'll be worth it. This one was, like, a nice, like, you know, recharging, like, nature vibes trip.
Yeah.
But Vancouver was truly a girls' trip.
Yes, it was.
And a really good food trip, too, I must say. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Alrighty. Wait, how do I end this again?
That wraps it up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can remember without reading my notes.
Go.
All right. So that wraps up season 2, episode 8 of Two Cold Brews. If you want to hear freshly brewed episodes, check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify every Monday.
Ooh. You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Two Cold Brews. For sneak peeks and teasers, you can check out our Instagram page.
Wow, we didn't take out your notes.
I know. Wow, it's ingrained in me now after almost a year.
All right, so speaking of teasers, here's one from our girls' trip. Me and Eva were like, what is happening? What is happening right now? And then Jordan is dancing around you guys, okay?
Yes.